Hi, Thomas. What was your first thought when this friendly was confirmed?
My first thought?
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I like I like the Japanese team. I like the Japanese culture, and it's an honor to play against the national team of Japan. When do you have the chance to face opponents like this? So I think we have two very interesting, two very different opponents to play against, two very different mentalities, two very different styles of play. And we were excited about it to have the possibility. But once you start looking deeply and you start looking into the quality and the way Japan plays, I think they have one loss in 17 matches. Very, very good run of results. They're well drilled. And you see all the quality, then you know that you need to be well prepared, and we need to be ourselves on our top performance to be able to win.
You coached two Japanese players, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then you saw quite a few Japanese players, particularly Bundesliga. So, what's your general opinion about Japanese players?
I can only give you the opinion of my two players, Shinji Okazaki and Shinji Kagawa. It was a pleasure to have them in the team. They were first of all full of quality, amazing, talented players, and then they were always ready to do everything for the team. They were very respectful, very polite, hardworking, very humble. It was amazing to have them in the team.
So that's what you expect tomorrow from Japan?
Tomorrow I expect a well-drilled, a well-trained team. They play in a back five, two sixes, three strikers. Very mobile, very fluid. They love a switch of play. They love to have ball possession. I played myself many times this formation, so you have a lot of players, including the goalkeeper and the deep end of the pitch. So this can give you control. It's quite hard to press. There are ways to press, but we need to be intelligent and we need to be hardworking and fully committed into our press if we want to steal the ball, if we want to have high ball recoveries. If we don't get it right, there's always a chance to be punished because you have very mobile players, very fast players, good on the ball, and of course, giving the formation that Japan plays, there's always a chance to suffer against the switch of play. So we need to be smart and fully committed. But I think we're on our way to be well prepared. We have one more training session, and it will be an interesting game tomorrow.
Hi, Thomas. I'm from Japanese broadcaster NHK. I'm sure you've watched the Japan's game against Scotland.
Yeah.
And what did you take away from the game? And what do you think worked for Japan? What's the strengths was? And also maybe if you found any weakness there?
If I found some, we always try to find solutions for us. That is basically the purpose why we watch games. We watch, of course, the patterns and the strengths of our opponent, and then we try to flip it around and have the emphasis on our strengths and where we think we can hurt them. And this is always the same. I think I explained the way that Japan plays already. There's nothing to add. The game against Scotland, I think there will be a lot of changes. I think there will be 7, 8, maybe even more changes in the starting lineup. So we watched several matches. We watched them against Mexico. We watched them against Paraguay. We watched them against Brazil. I think we are well prepared. We see the same patterns over and over again. If you watch the goal against Scotland, you see a well-drilled goal with a switch of play from wing-back to wing-back through both number 10s. This is basically the key in their game, I would say. And we need to be aware of it. We need to be aware of the details, which side of the player we attack. And like I said, we need to be fully committed. Which we are, and have some fresh legs, and it's a good game.
And as we have quite a few familiar faces who play for a Premier League, obviously that's knowing the style of English players, and they know about their players as well. So Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton in particular, how do you rate his quality? He might start, I don't know, but what would you think?
I think he will start. No, I think he will start.
How would you stop him?
I think he will start on the number 10 position. It's difficult to stop him. It's always a team effort. First of all, is maybe the best way is to stop the supply into him, because he loves to turn. He loves to turn in both directions. He's strong on the dribbling. He's strong in acceleration. He's a very, very good player. He shows it every 3 days for Brighton. So we will be aware of him. But like I said, it's a team effort. It matters about the details. It matters that we stop the supply. It matters that we get our press right and attack from and push them into the pressure where we want to have the pressure. But of course, there are quality players on the pitch.
If you could pass the microphone back, and we'll go Henry next. Henry.
Hello, Tuchel. My name is Yoichi from Japan. You talk about Japanese culture. So, what kind of Japanese culture do you like?
Well, I had the chance to visit your country, I think twice, and for football, and the level of how we were welcomed, and the level of hospitality, the level of respect was always outstanding. It is the way of living, the way you're like the Japanese way into the way of living, into coffee shops, into fashion is just fascinating to see, and it's just throughout the culture, which is very, very interesting, and of course very different from our culture. But it was always a pleasure to spend time in your country and to be welcomed and to dive in these kind of new cultures. I think you see it in the way that I saw it in the way that the players were with me and they were in the team. The players that I trained, like I said, was very respectful and they were the best teammates you can wish for. Always ready to train, always ready to play, always ready to adapt and to do what's necessary for the team. Very respectful, very humble, and yeah, that's basically it.
You talk about humbleness, but in Japan, we declare to win the World Cup this time.
Yeah. Officially. Good.
What do you think about that?
Good. I mean, it's important to dream. I think it's important to dream, and it's important. Not sure if it's important to declare your dreams, but if you do that, fair enough, because everyone who's qualified has a chance to win it, of course. It's important to dream. It's allowed to dream, and I think it's allowed to have the question hanging around, like what if? Is it possible? Do we maybe make the unthinkable into a reality? So fair enough. I think you have a strong team, well-coached team with good players. So the question is why not? And the same question for us.